welcome to SelflessSews. My name's Sarah. Thanks for joining me today. It's another edition of Friday Sews. It is Friday the 14th of April, and we've got a few things to get through today. So obviously I said today that I was going to announce the winner of my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm actually going to film myself finding out, so I've not done it yet. I had exactly 100 entries. And I've inputted all of those names into a nice Excel spreadsheet. So each one's numbered, and I'm going to use an online generator that picks a number between 1 and 100. And I will video that and announce it as part of my Friday Sews video. That's going to come a little bit later. I will put chapters in so you can skip to that bit if that's what you want to watch. But I thought I'd do some general chit chat about this week first. So I've gotten quite a lot of sewing done this week. I've been off work, which has been really nice. And I've actually ended up, so I've sewn a few things for myself. I had some time to photograph some things. And I also was able to sew up a couple of things for SelflessSew April, which is a challenge where you basically sew things up for other people, and you post the finished garments on the 30th of April, I think, on Instagram. So these were all items that I was planning on working on anyway. In my first year of sewing, I got involved in like every challenge, and I actually found that I sort of overcommitted, and then I didn't have enough time or space to just sew what I wanted. So I don't do a lot of challenges now, but with this one, I was like, it fits in with my plans anyway. So yeah, right. You might see behind me, I finished a new dress. You'll probably recognize this as it's been absolutely everywhere as the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel dress. Now, I've been on a journey with this dress. Not so much, because I've seen quite mixed reviews of the pattern shape. I really like the shape. I think it'll be very flattering on my body and very sort of wearable. What I wasn't sure about, so this fabric I've used is, I bought them both from Jenny Stitches, and the plan had always been to sort of colour block them. Now, the thing that threw me off once I started sewing was just this shade of pink, like sort of a, I don't know if you call it like a baby pink, is just not something I would normally wear. I'd initially decided that the bodice was going to be in the green, because then I thought, oh, then you've got more of that near my face. But then because the skirt pieces are so big, there's just like a lot of pink. I do also have a green ruffled here at the bottom. I'll pop in some pictures of the finished dress just here. But generally, what are my thoughts? I really enjoyed sewing it. It actually comes together very, very quickly. I think it's one because it's got lots of nice features. I felt like it was going to be really complicated, but it actually did work pretty nicely. And I even got my machine to do the shearing properly. So normally I have to switch back to my old machine, but I think I've worked it out because it all came together really quickly. So you can see here actually maybe more clearly than you can in the pattern pictures, that the shearing happens, it's at the top of the skirt piece, and then you have this bodice piece. The one other thing that I didn't really recognize from the pattern until I was making it is that you have this little tie, but it's just a faux tie. So it's elasticated in these channels basically, and then you just tie this on at the front. So I thought it was like you tied it up all as one thing, but you don't. And that's actually a bit easier. You also have, there are two options for the sleeves. So there are full length and the elbow length sleeves. I went for elbow length, and those have the shearing as well and a nice little ruffle. And the original design doesn't have the ruffled here at the bottom, but I wanted to add some more of the green in, which is why I added a ruffled here. And that makes it quite a nice midi length. So with the pattern pieces, they have, they don't actually put the full skirt piece in. So they put a piece that's like the width of the skirt piece. And then they say measure, I think it was 60 centimeters or something, below this point. And I only measured 40. And then I added the ruffled here. So it's actually only a little bit longer than it would normally be. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed sewing it. Now, as I said, I was a bit like, is this too girly? And I think it's because the shape is obviously very feminine, and also this fabric is very feminine, especially the pink. And I had some doubts, especially before I added the ruffled here on the bottom. It looked a bit like a nightie to me, which I think is what this shade of pink says to me. Nightie. Yeah, and I had a bit of a, I just don't know if, like, it looks nice enough, but I just don't know if I'm sort of girly enough to pull it off. And I was chatting to Jenny on Instagram. I was saying, like, I've made this dress and I don't know if it's too girly for me. And she was like, well, maybe when the sun comes out, it will feel more like wearable. And I took the photos that I've already showed you. I took those on Wednesday, and there were moments of sunshine, and I did actually feel, I mean, it's more whimsical than my normal style, but I did actually feel like, oh, this is actually quite nice to wear. So I think it is one of those where when the weather's good and I'm feeling a bit more like summery and sunny and everything, that yeah, that it then doesn't seem so out of place. Whereas sort of in the middle of a rainy, spring morning or whatever, it just feels a bit like, why am I wearing this very, very florally girly dress? But yeah, no, as I said, once I had it on, and also I think once I could see the full effect, I liked it a lot more. And I definitely like the shape. I do think, so I made a size, I think it's size 11, which is the size that I always make in Tilly patterns. Some of the versions I've seen, they just have like a little bit more sort of ease around the bottom of the bodice piece. So it sort of is a bit looser around the bust, and then it gathers into the shearing. And whereas mine, I think it's just a bit, I think I maybe need a tiny bit more length in the bodice. Correct me if you think I'm an idiot and that's wrong. That's what from looking at it, I feel like it just needs a little bit more length, so there's room for it to sort of go down and then gather back up a bit. Do you know what I mean? So it's got a more sort of blousy fit in the bodice. So I might add a little bit of length to the front bodice next time, but only like a tiny amount. It's just, it's not so much for the fit, it's just for the aesthetic of it, I think. But no, generally I'm really, really pleased with that. So there she is, my girly girl, I'm a girl dress. So what else have I been sewing this week? It's been both of my SelflessSew April garments. So the first that I finished yesterday, I'm going to pop a picture of here, even though I'm not sure, but it's not Instagram, so maybe it's okay, were some dresses. So I have two goddaughters. One of them is 4, and she's just become a big sister. So it's Annie, and then the new baby is called Amelia, and I met her yesterday, and she is gorgeous. Yeah, they're doing a great job. Parents. It's a hard old job, isn't it? As a non-parent, I can really appreciate that. So I wanted to make them something, and I was telling you last time about this cotton jersey that I got from Fabrics Galore in Battersea, and I made these 2 little dresses. So obviously I colour blocked and swapped them, and then I ironed on and then sewed around the letter patches. She is far too tiny. Amelia is far too tiny to fit into her little sis dress. But she will in a few months, don't you worry about it. I also, because I'm a little bit stupid, had plans to put little sis, without realising that the bodice for a baby is literally about this big. So that's how she became Lil Sis. I did think as well of doing front and back, but then I thought it would just say like little. And that's a bit weird, isn't it? Unless you're constantly rotating. So I was really pleased with those. And I used the Poppy and Jazz pansy dress pattern, which I've used loads of times. Poppy and Jazz, if you don't know, is the sort of children's wear wing of Sew Over It. And I have, so that, and then the strawberry sweatshirt, I've made so many of. I don't know if I have any more of their children's pads, but I'm going to have a look actually, because I just find that they're really, really quick to sew. The fit's good. I tried, because initially when I started sewing for children, I'd want to sew things that were fancy, but then you think, I should probably just sew things that they actually want to wear. and that are like comfy and that are easy to chuck in the wash and stuff. So that's what I try to do. And then the next thing that I'm still working on and I've got to try and finish today is a shirt for Nathan. So he is off to Trinidad to see some family. I said I would make him a shirt ages ago, and he's going very soon, and I only started it yesterday. So for this, I'm using Simplicity pattern S9157. Now, I very rarely use big 4 sewing patterns, just because the sizing's not so good, and I find often the instructions are a little bit obtuse sometimes. But when I was looking for like a men's summer shirt, this one came up, and the size range is a little better. Like Nate is sort of tall and broad and everything, and he fits into the biggest size, and he put it on and it's sort of roomy. So the sizing is definitely better for men's wear than it is for women's wear. But like if you're looking for something like extended sizing in menswear, there's barely anything. So yeah, so fortunately this fits, and I will show you. It's not quite finished yet, but I'm using this fabric, which is a dead stock fabric from Ralph Lauren. So I'll just show you. It has this, where's the camera there? Do you see it says Polo? So that's the Ralph Lauren Polo line, and it's got these sort of swordfish on. Now I'm pretty pleased. I pattern matched the pocket. Now check me out, pattern matching. So the bag that I've made for Jenny Stitches, which I haven't been able to share yet, I had to pattern match for that, and it was quite difficult because I was making a bag, but it was quite a large scale print, so I had to be really careful with the pattern matching. And obviously I've got very cocky because I've also pattern matched this pocket, and I'm feeling pretty pleased with myself. So yeah, I mean, you can't really see the gist of this at the moment. I've sewn up the collar's on, the facing's on for the button placket. The sleeves are on, so I've just got to hem the sleeves, hem the bottom of the shirt, and add the buttons and the buttonholes, which is my job for today. But I found the instructions actually quite straightforward. I don't know if it's just because I've made a few shirts now. The button placket isn't my favourite way of doing a button placket on a shirt, but it works well enough. I just don't think it looks the prettiest on the inside, but it sort of does the job. So yeah, so that's that. My plans for the week, I currently have a Tamsin dress cut out in red and pink check, and I'm also going to sew up my pearl from my Little Miss So-and-So box for March. So those are my 2 priorities. The only delivery I've had this week was one from Sew Me Sunshine. This was really on a whim. Yeah, this was unplanned and on a whim, but I am quite pleased, although I have no idea what to make with it, which is this sort of crinkly, I think it's a crinkle like viscose or crepe or something. I don't even know what type of fabric it is. That's bad, isn't it? It's this sort of like, what would you say, like ancient Roman or ancient Greek print. I don't know how well you can see what's going on there. I would say on the screen it's coming across a bit more orange. It's very much like a pink, like a sort of hot pink, almost with like a neon undertone, and then the little people are all in a sort of it looks a bit like a nude, but actually when you look at it against the other colour, it's more like a sort of very light peachy orange colour. I just thought it was really interesting. I just bought it on a whim, actually, which is not the best, is it? Because I got a lot of fabric. But I'm thinking a blouse vibe. I've only got, I think 2 meters or 1.5. So it won't be enough for a dress or anything, but maybe a blouse. So that was from Sew Me Sunshine, and I think it's very pretty. Okay, do I have anything else to tell you? I'm just rabbiting on now. Right, no, so we're going to do the giveaway. So I'm just going to take a little second to get myself set up for what I need, and then we'll go for it. Okay, so I'm ready to go. Just a reminder of the prizes. So we have Tilly and the Buttons Pearl. We have By Hand London Tamsin in the D cups. So it's like the larger size range. We have some buttons from Pigeon Wishes, and we also have some labels from the lovely Little Rosy Cheeks. And I will send this wherever. So if you are the winner, I will tag you and I'll try and send you a message. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube, but I'll try and get hold of you. But if not, if you are the person and you haven't heard from me, pop me a message on Instagram or comment under the video and we'll sort out address and all of the other stuff. And I'll try and get it sent out tomorrow, or as soon as I have the address. So we have a number generator here on Google. So it's from 1 to 100. So I'm just going to press generate. 34. Okay. So number 34 is Sewn by Sarah. Woo. So Sewn by Sarah, thank you so much for entering. Thank you so much everyone who's entered. And for those who haven't entered but have just enjoyed sort of watching the channel and liking things and whatever, I really have appreciated all of the support, and the feedback to the giveaway has been really good. I will definitely do more in the future, I think. I've just got to see what other milestones I hit. But yeah, thank you so much. Sewn by Sarah. I'll be in touch. If you don't hear from me, then just comment below and then we'll sort out getting the address. I need to work out the best way to message people privately on YouTube, but I will also tag you below so you know. So congratulations and thank you so much everybody for taking part in the giveaway, and thanks for watching my Friday Sews video today. So have a great week. I cannot wait to catch up with you all later in the week. A big well done to Sarah and for everyone else. I'm just waffling now, waffling away. Have a great week everybody, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.